Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again, kind of, with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The reason I say kind of is because we are watching a spin-off OVA, Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe. So, currently, to let you guys know in case you don't know where I am currently in JoJo, I have recently finished up Part 4, and I've already watched the first episode of Part 5, but in the playlist I'll probably put this before Part 5. It's a whole thing. Anyway, this is Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe, the spin-off about, well, our boy Rohan Kishibe. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to be doing here. I don't know how many characters are going to show up, what we're doing. We've got 4 episodes, but yeah. Now, interesting thing about this reaction is I'm doing a bit of an experiment with this reaction. So, normally, what I would do is we would do 4 videos of Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe. We would just go through one week after the other, doing each episode. But, I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment, and we're actually going to do all 4 episodes today, right here in this video. I mean, kind of. We have the reaction highlighted, but you get the idea. So yeah, we are doing all 4 current episodes of Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe. So, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be a bit similar to my Doctor Who Classic reactions, where my dad and I watch 3 or 4 episodes of that at a time, and the episodes are about the same length as an anime episode. So yeah, it should basically just be that. So what I'll do is basically watch the episode, I'll react like normal, we'll take a minute or 2 breather, I'll give my initial thoughts on that episode, and then we'll move on into the next one, and then at the end, I will do one big discussion on all 4 episodes. So yeah, keep in mind, these are also, by the way, in the dub, specifically. That is pretty much it. Like always, the reaction is going to be down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure, because God, I don't trust posting anime footage onto YouTube, so yeah. So you can go down, watch my reaction to all 4 episodes, and when you're done with all of those, I do highly encourage you to come back. I'm choking, hold on. I do highly encourage you to come back to this YouTube video for the discussion. But yeah, with that said, let's just go ahead and jump right into these 4 episodes of Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe. Here we go. Well, that was 4 fucking weird-ass episodes, but alright. That is Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe in the books. All 4 episodes. Again, don't know if they're going to make any more. I hope so, because I enjoyed that. So, oh god. Oh, excuse me. Jeez. Okay. The fucking God Hermes. God, this shit is so weird. I like that it's not even... it's even weirder than normal JoJo, because JoJo is weird, but there's always a stand user, generally, you know? There's generally always a stand user, but this time, it's just weird shit. It's either a vagrant, some random ass blood monster, the fucking Posh gods, the gods of Posh, or Hermes, the god of muscles. It's all the weirdest shit. But you know what? Here's something I like about this. None of these are stand users. Just absolutely none of this is a stand. And that I like, because you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of fucking Superfly. How Superfly should have been an episode of this, you know? Superfly, which, for all intents purposes, is not a stand. It's just a fucking spirit that haunts this fucking electrical tower, you know? and you have this guy that totally is just an episode of Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe, you know? Or Thus Spoke Kishibe Rohan, as it says here on Netflix. I'm sure either way is fine. I know in Japanese they do, I guess technically it's last name, first name. I don't know how you would, how to describe that, but I guess the names are sort of switched. So I guess for me, I'd be Lamen Alex instead of Alex Lamen, you know? I don't often say my name on this YouTube channel, so yeah, there's that. But anyway, yeah, I'm thinking like, honestly, I feel like these episodes, it's actually helped that none of these are stand users, you know? Like this is, I guess honestly, this is just sort of world building, you know? And kind of getting a bit back to, I would even say, maybe getting a bit back to part 1 and part 2, where it's just like, hey, here's just some shit, you know? Because, yeah, honestly, like, you go back all the way to part 1, and it's like, okay, you know, you have this struggle between Jonathan and Dio, you know, they're rivals and stuff like that, and then just randomly, this random-ass stone mask that the Joestar family has, that, you know, Jonathan's been trying to understand it and shit. Suddenly, Dio realizes that it can turn people into vampires, and then he uses that, and it's like, what the fuck? But then you get the explanation of that, and Hamon uses, and they've been fighting. You go into part 2, you get the Pillarmen, and how they created the stone masks and stuff, and cars. But for all intents and purposes, at the beginning, there's just some random-ass stone mask that turned Dio into a vampire, you know? And this is all just a bunch of random shit, you know? This is all just a bunch of random shit that happens, that the only connecting thread between all of these is the fact that these are all things known to Rohan Kishibe, you know? So I really enjoy that. Now, something I want to do, I want to look up the voices. I meant to do this after the first episode, because the guy telling the story, his voice sounded familiar, but let me see. Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe. It is a new voice actor. It is a new voice actor for Rohan Kishibe. Initially... Okay, this is kind of weird, but hang on. Okay. In part 4, Rohan is voiced by Vic Menag... I'll never understand how to pronounce his name. Here it's now Landon McDonald. Okay. So first off, though, I will say, if I didn't know going into this that it was a new voice for Rohan, I would not have guessed that, because Landon McDonald, this guy, let me see do I recognize this guy from anything else? Hold on. I need to type in voice actor because I'm getting a pastor instead. No. I don't recognize this guy from anything. But, okay. Landon McDonald as Rohan Kishibe. That is a spot-on voice. Like, that's absolutely amazing. So, good on him for putting in a hell of a performance as Rohan. Because, yeah, if you didn't tell me, I would not have known. And now, honestly, like... And, look, let's not all beat around the bush. We all know why Rohan has a different voice actor now in the English dub. We all fucking know why. So, can this be like... Remember when everyone joked about Christopher Plummer replacing Kevin Spacey in that one movie? And everyone was like, oh, can we just have Christopher Plummer... replace all Kevin Spacey movies, you know? Let's just re-edit Christopher Plummer into, like, Superman Returns and shit, you know? It's like, can we just get this guy to replace at least all the current roles? I mean, yeah, right now I'm going through Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I do enjoy Vic's performance as Ed, but I will say I separate art from the artist, you know? But still... This guy is really good. Landon McDonald is really good. So, if they're looking for, like, a new Broly or something, fucking get this guy. This guy rocks. So, okay. So, Let me start with episode... let me start with episode 16. So, the man at the confessional, voiced by Crispin Freeman. Okay, that's why I recognized him. See, okay, I thought I was wrong. I said Roy Mustang. I was wrong. He's Alucard from Hellsing and Hellsing Ultimate. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I love that. He's still around. I like that too, you know? Yeah, he's still doing a lot of shit apparently. Let me see here. Yeah, okay. Some Ghost in the Shell, some Demon Slayer, some Fate slash stuff. I don't know what those are, but that's cool. A little bit of Naruto thrown in. Okay. Cool. I like that. Okay, so we got that. What was the next? The next one was episode 2. It's so weird that these were all out of order, you know? Okay, so... oh, fuck. How did they pronounce her name? Naoko? Yeah. Let me see here. Susie Young? Young? I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. Apologies if I mispronounced that. Okay. So, she's a lot of recent stuff. But Attack on Titan, the final season, Laura Tiber. That's an interesting one. No, okay. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Was there anyone else I really needed to look up? I don't think so. I love that they still had, they had fucking Otoishi in here. Like, I guess he got out. I guess he got better. Alright, episode 5. Episode 5. So that was that one. So Brittany Cox played, Kyoka Izumi. Okay. Let me see here. No. Don't recognize her from anything, unfortunately. And then episode 9, the only other one to look up is Yoma. So, Alex, spelled with a K and an S instead of an X. Very interesting. Didn't know you could spell it like that. I guess that makes sense. And then Alex Lay. Okay. Aleks. And then Lay. Let me see what we got here. I loved his voice. So nice and deep, you know? Let's see what we got. Well, hey. Well, here's something interesting. Now, I'm not here yet, but JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind as Mario Zucchero? I'm going to assume I'm pronouncing that wrong, because if you had given me Bruno's name, which I think... he only said it once in episode 1, but I think it was like Buccarati. I would not have been able to pronounce that, so I'm going to assume I'm pronouncing this character wrong. Okay, well, I look forward to hearing his voice in Golden Wind. Looks like that's it. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. But interesting stuff. Very, very interesting stuff. Now, interestingly, the episode listing here has the 5 episodes in the incorrect order than they are here. Here it goes Millionaire Village, then Mutsu-Kabe Hill, then the Confessional, then the Run, whereas this was the Confessional, the Hill, the Village, and then the Run. And still, none of those are in the proper order of, numerically, which would be the Hill, the Village, the Run, and then the Confessional. So that's just sort of weird, but alright. That's pretty weird, sorry, I'm getting distracted by shit on YouTube. That's pretty weird, though. Okay. So we looked up voice actors. That was pretty good. Let's go ahead and jump into my episode notes. So the first one, which is episode 16, at a confessional. Very interesting. I like, again, just that a lot of these are just stories, Like, which, I mean, yeah, I guess it makes sense. Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe, which is the perfect pretentious title for a show about Rohan. But I like that, yeah, a lot of these are just Rohan telling stories, And did he make these up? Did he not? You don't know. I mean, he's a fucking manga artist. Not to say manga artists are liars. I'm saying they're storytellers. He could have made this up, I will say, big minus that there is no sort of Josuke in there. And the fact that they teased him, I'd rather they just not have him there at all instead of teasing him, you know? Now, I don't know if maybe in one of the other stories that hasn't been adapted, maybe he does say something, but the fact that they have, like, oh, Josuke was there, he just kept quiet. Like, bullshit, he kept quiet, you know? This is Josuke Higashikata we're talking about. So, the confessional. Very interesting story. Again, you know, there's... I like that, you know, it's not stands. Like I said, this isn't... None of these are stands. The only stand, really, in this entire thing is Heaven's Door. OP as it is, you know? But this still plays within the rules of JoJo. And I like that, because I'm very friggin' picky about the rules of JoJo, you know? Because there are rules to JoJo. They do exist, and I honestly hold this show, this series, to a higher standard of rules because they exist. Because they have taken the time, you cannot ignore some of these rules. Now, yes, you can introduce new rules. We had Hamon and vampires, now we have ghosts that punch shit. That's fine, but you gotta stick to those rules, you know? And this one sticks to the rules established in Part 4, that ghosts exist. Ghosts absolutely exist. And, yeah, between both Kira Sr. and Reimi Sugimoto and Arnold, ghosts exist. Shit can still happen, you know, and they can do shit. And I like that is the basis of this, is that yeah, this ghost basically, this ghost haunted this guy. And now, years and years later, he's still being haunted over it, except now he has another spirit. Because that was a good twist. That was a good twist, which you can only catch in the voices, you know? You can only catch in the voices about this, that this guy had his face surgically, and his voice, he had his body surgically swapped with someone. Now, it's interesting that they say, you know, he had all the money, so he surgically swapped him, despite the fact that you probably could have written in that he went to Cinderella, you know? Like, before Kira killed her, basically, you know? But whatever. But yeah, so I like all of that, and the whole... Honestly, again, what felt like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Episode. I don't know when this was written, when the OVA was made, so maybe this was around the time that... Yu-Gi-Oh! Had started. Maybe it wasn't, I don't know. But I like that this does sort of feel just like a shadow game that Yami Yugi would do in the manga, especially. Like this seems like something out of pre-Duelist Kingdom stuff like that, which I did reviews on those chapters, the first 59 chapters of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga. Go check those out if you haven't. Those are good videos, good fun videos. But yeah, this whole thing of basically we'll let destiny decide your fate, and so yeah, he did this whole thing of, and now it's interesting that it's like, they go through this whole thing. It's like, well, if you're innocent, the destiny will be on your side. And it's like, well, if this isn't the guy, then it should work out. But it don't. It don't work out at all. Although this guy is very clever, I must say. This guy was very clever. This guy was very clever to do what he did, using the lighter and stuff like that. So I like that. But yeah, he ended up dying. And then, I mean, that the ghost of the vagrant, he must have felt the fool when that guy would, started haunting the dude as well, So, and it's also interesting though. I mean, yeah, I guess the whole thing was that, they basically cannot let that guy out of their sight now, because the vagrant did that. He was like, well, I will be back for my revenge, when you're at your happiest. But because he didn't keep an eye on him, that meant that he didn't see that he changed his face. So very interesting stuff. I love that. And yeah, I love this whole, the framing of it, that this guy is confessing to the priest, but he's actually confessing to Rohan, and Rohan's just hearing this story. But I like this, I like that the first two almost have nothing to do with Rohan, you know? That leads us into the second one, which was episode 2. This whole, the hill. I love, though, that he fucking bought these hills, you know? But it made him go bankrupt, which was fucking crazy. And hey, good that resort did not get built on this fucking property. But yeah, so we had everything with, what was it? Naoko and her lover Gunpei that she accidentally killed. But it seemed like part of that might be the monster. And now, you know, she was able to hide it, but she got in this whole routine of taking care of the body and stuff like that as it kept bleeding. So yeah, that was interesting. And then the fucking reveal that it's like, oh yeah, because, you know, she's able to return his body to the way it was, she fucked that corpse. Like, she fucking lost her mind during, you know, taking care of this body and eventually had a daughter. Like, Jesus Christ. But this daughter that almost then, you know, the daughter that would have died and then the monster possesses Rohan instead. Luckily, though, he has fucking Heaven's Door. Like, I'm honestly trying to think, like, okay, what would be, like, what other stand user could have done this? You know, there's no fucking way. You can't use fucking 3 freeze on this. But even, like, you couldn't, like, Star Platinum, what can Star Platinum do against this, you know? The only one, well, okay, there's 2 that I could think of. One would be Shining Diamond. Maybe Shining Diamond if it's already dead. Well, no, but I guess because it wasn't dead, the girl was starting to die. That's why the memories were being erased. So Rohan wrote in to stop her from dying, basically. So I guess if Josuke was fast enough, he could heal her with Shining Diamond, and there you go. That would be done, basically. So that's a possibility. The only other one I could think of is Bites the Dust. Bites the Dust is the only other person is the only other stand that could save, that could be used against this, because Kira would just rewind time, and then there you go. So those are the only 2 that I could possibly think. I mean, unless, I mean, yeah, maybe before the spirit possesses you, while it's still in the girl, you just fucking delete the girl with the hand. I don't know if Okuyasu would be that smart to do that, but I am surprised, though, that, Rohan does all of this in order to not be possessed by the monster. But then, like, you would think he would put in a safeguard, like, I cannot possess... oh, my God, I dropped my fucking pen. I will not possess anything else, basically. But I don't know. But that one was really, really interesting. If frantic and fucking weird, But it's interesting because it reminds me... A while back, I was watching through the Sailor Moon anime, and I had a bang old time going through all of that. But I loved... There was a couple episodes, I think, and this also happened in the manga with a couple of the side stories, where there would just be a ghost, basically, a spirit, a yokai or whatever, that the girls had to deal with, and they figured it out, and they were able to beat this ghost, but it wasn't connected to the Dark Kingdom or the Black Moon or any of the actual villains. There was just a fucking ghost, and it's like, I guess this is just a fucking thing in Japan, This is just a thing, be careful where you go. You're going to end up with some shit, basically. You might end up in some shit, and sure enough, fucking Naoko, she ended up in some shit, So yeah, but luckily, Rohan wasn't able to end up, he didn't get in that shit because he had Heaven's Door. The OP fucking Heaven's Door, basically. But I like that. I thought that was... I like that sort of idea that it's not just, the guy, Kara Sr. or Keicho or Otoshi, they're going around just making stand users left, right, and center. It's like, here's just some weird shit that Rohan encounters. And it's not even exclusive to Japan, because he was in Venice in the first one, He was in Venice when all of this happened, when all of that happened with the confessional. So, honestly, I really did like that, too. We move on to the third one with his editor, Kyoka Izumi, and going to this fucking village. So, interesting, very interesting. Again, just another, like, well, here's just some fucking shit, you know? Here's some shit with these fucking asshole gods, basically. And this weird fucking child servant fucking nightmare thing. But that was interesting. I like that again. But this one, I like that these last two were about Rohan. You know, Rohan was in the situation more than anything. So I like that. And again, using Heaven's Door correctly. This is one, though, where I would like to see other JoJo characters in this. You know, and yeah, okay, sure, maybe Koichi would be kind of interesting. You know, maybe he could use the 3 freeze to fuck something up. But I would love to see how, like, Josuke or Jotaro have to deal with this, you know? You know, it's like, oh, you have to do the proper etiquette and stuff like that. Which Rohan kind of knows, because, you know, he's a bit more posh than the rest of them. But I like that it's like, you know, just immediately she fucking loses. Like, Jesus Christ, you know? Like, Jesus. And it was like, what was it? There was the... Oh, I can't remember what the first one was. Oh, it was sitting far away from the door. And then she stepped on the... I don't even know what the fuck they call that, but she stepped on the fucking lining between the shit. And then she held the cup with her finger through the loop. That's what the fucking loop is for, dickwad! Like, Jesus Christ. And because of that, she lost her fucking... She lost the bird, she lost her mother, and she lost her fucking boyfriend. Like, what the fuck? Like, oh my god, you pretentious... But when you make Rohan look unpretentious, what the fuck is wrong with you, you know? Oh my god. So that one was fucking crazy. But then the fact that, you know, and Rohan... who, you know, it's a breach of etiquette to turn someone into a book. Okay, where's that in your goddamn rules? You just made that shit up, you know? You just did that to be a asshole, you know? So, you know, he does that, so she starts having a heart attack, but then he fucking just wins by, like, yeah, well, I may have breached etiquette by using Heaven's Door, but I used Heaven's Door so that you would breach etiquette, fuckface. And then he's like, I'm fucking out of here. Bye. Like, I've saved the day. I'm fucking leaving. Like, yeah, duh. So, well, and not only that, you know, he had them breach etiquette, but at the same time, he figured out how to properly eat corn on the cob. So, yeah, that was interesting. I love that 2 of these revolve around corn. You got the guy who made cornflakes, and then this with corn on the cob. Like, that's just so weird. But I like that. That was a good way of doing that. That just sort of, you know, I guess it's sort of a battle of wits, but also just the fact that Heaven's Door is OP as shit, you know? So I like that. And then finally, this fucking guy, this fucking meathead, god of muscle Yoma, who was just a fucking dickwad, and then killed the delivery man and like several other people and his girlfriend after putting up all this shit around her apartment. Like, man, I like absolutely fuck that guy. And sure, I guess he could be, he's possessed by fucking Hermes or whatever, but fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Like, it's just, oh my god. Like, okay, you know, the whole thing of like, oh, well, I can't eat carbs and stuff like that. You gotta give me the proper menu and shit. But then fucking everything... I guess everything else is more, you know, he's being possessed and stuff. But just fuck that guy, you know? Fuck that guy. But I love that he just randomly gets into this rivalry with Rohan Kishibe, you know? Just this random-ass rivalry that results in just running like a madman, basically. Running until you get to the remote. So yeah, now I don't understand, like, what the stakes were. Like, I don't understand what the stakes were, because the point was, I guess the point was to hit the stop on your own treadmill, and then the other guy would go flying, I guess, but I don't understand that. Basically. Well, and because if you're... I'm trying to think of momentum. If you're going forward, if that suddenly stopped, I mean, you might trip and fall, but you're going to fall forward, but I don't know. Oh, Netflix is fucked up over here. Oh, well. Anyway, but yeah, I'm not quite sure what the stakes are. Either way, he got tossed out that fucking window, basically. But yeah, I'm not sure how that worked, but whatever. And then Rohan was just like, well, I gotta get the fuck out of here before that guy comes back, if he is still alive, you know? Rohan basically just possibly kills someone, and he can't even stick around in case he is alive. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, I don't know if this goes on into story 10. I don't know. They didn't adapt number 10, but that could just be it. I don't know. But it was fucking weird. That one may be, like, of the four of them, I think that one might be my least favorite of the four of them, just because it's just kind of... it seems, ridiculous to say this, but it was just kind of weird and stuff, but I don't know, it was just kind of dumb, and then the climax was just kind of dumb, and it was like, okay, whatever. The other three, I thought were really fun and really good. And the fourth one was fun and good, but it's my least favorite of the four that I watched, So, very, very interesting stuff. I really enjoyed this. If they make any more, I'll come back and watch them as well. But yeah, that is, damn. All in one go, we have completed Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe. So, if you are watching this in the playlist, I'm going to probably put this before Part 5, Episode 1. But the next thing up on my to-do list is watching Part 5, Episode 2. So hope you enjoy that. I must say I'm enjoying the art style a bit more. Again, Koichi specifically looks a little rough. The rest of them look alright. But I have to say, Morio looks 10 times better in the Part 5 art style than the Part 4 art style. And part of it, I think, is that having a blue sky instead of a yellow one. I can't believe, how... honestly, now I'm sort of looking back. Honestly, again, the characters I thought were all fine in Part 4. The landscape, I think, looks better now in Part 5. So, yeah. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. My camera is down to 15% battery, so I do need to wrap this up here. Did you like this kind of video where I just do 4 episodes at a time? I do have reason for this, and... I do have reason for doing this experiment. It wasn't just because I felt like it, basically. I was doing this for a specific purpose, but I don't know if that purpose will become clear or not. It all depends. It all depends on things that may or may not be coming up. Either way, I enjoyed doing this all in one go. Had a good time. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And yeah, that is pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from Samathar Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around to any of those. There's a playlist for all of my JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reactions, which now includes Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe. There's also another video you can click on, as well as a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, and other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.